All right, everybody, this is Mr. Wyrick. Going to go over your review with you real quick, what I can. So this first section, transversal problems with equations. There's a couple of ways that this is going to go, but basically what's going to happen is this. If you have angles that look like this right here, they do not look equal, so they're going to add up to 180. So when you set this up, it's going to be 10x plus 1 plus 5x plus 29 is equal to 180. Remember, when they're on the same side, you're just combining like terms. That's 15x plus 30 is equal to 180. That's 15x is equal to 150. So x is 10. Okay, but if you get other ones here, you get ones like this. These are alternate exterior angles. They look congruent. They are congruent. We're going to set these equal to each other. So 7x plus 9 equals 9x minus 5. You get 2x equals 14. You get x is equal to 7. On the next section, the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. The key here is just being able to solve this portion. You want to get it to y equals mx plus b form, but you only care about the y. Nobody cares about this 225 out here. You don't need to solve anything with it. I'm going to subtract the 6x, and then I'm going to divide by 15. 6 over 15, those are both divisible by 3. That's going to reduce down to 2/5, and it's going to be negative because I had to subtract the 6 to get it over here. A negative 2/5. If it was parallel, I would just put negative 2/5 because it's the same slope. Since it's perpendicular, I flip it over, I switch the sign. This is 5/2. Okay. The only other thing you might see, no, this one doesn't have the multiple choice. Okay, the next one, the parallel equations, this is it. Parallel to the x-axis. The x-axis is flat. We want y equals a number. Our new problem on this, I'll have to solve this to get the slope of it, but once I solve and get the slope, since it's parallel, I want the same slope. Key thing to remember here is parallel is the same slope, perpendicular is opposite reciprocal. The third section, parallel and perpendicular equations, same thing. Parallel means they have the exact same slope. Perpendicular means they have opposite reciprocal slope. This one's multiple choice. You pick the one that matches up. Bisector, midpoint, vertex on diagram. I saw a lot of people struggling with this one a little bit today. The key is only mark what you see. So in this case, I can tell that MO is a bisector of LK. It's cutting it into 2 equal parts. But anything else that they have about vertex of congruent angles or angle bisector or right angles or anything like that, if it's not marked on here, then I don't know if it's true. I choose the segment bisector, I move on. Okay, make sure it's marked on there before you pick something. The next one, the triangle inequality. Remember, the two sides have to add up to be bigger than the other one. So like here, 14 and 24 adds up to 38. That's bigger than 37. That works. But 9 and 21 is 30. That's not bigger than 32. This one will not make a triangle. Just make sure you pay attention to whether it's asking, will it make a triangle or will it not? Solving for interior angles. Remember, all 3 angles have to add up to 180. So this one should be 63. Okay, just make sure they all add up to 180. Congruence criteria. This is the same stuff we were working on the other day. You can go back, you can peek at the notes on like the hypotenuse leg, side angle, side, all that stuff to see what works. On this one, doesn't matter that this is a right angle. It's in between the 2 sides. So this is side angle side, and it can be congruent. Also, make sure you remember the ones that don't work. Similar does not mean congruent. Solving for side or perimeter. This one we've been spending some time on here lately. I don't want to spend a ton of time with it, but it's just matching it up. 22 is to 33 as 25 is to x. Cross multiply, solve. Make sure that you pay attention to where it wants it rounded. The nearest tenth would be a single decimal place. You want to go little over big, and try to keep that consistent if you want to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing on this. And then word problems with similar triangles. These are going to be on there. It's going to be one question. Make sure you know what you're doing. The little triangle is 1.65. The big triangle is the tree. The little triangle is the distance from here to here. So you take 27.75 and subtract the 23.5 in order to get this smaller portion of the triangle. So little to big, and then whatever this is to 27.75, that should get you the height of that tree. It's always one extra step in these. If you get the one that's the water, remember this distance is X, the distance on the big one is X plus this. And then if we get the one that's this one, you have to take this side for the small and then add these two together for the big. But every single time, small triangle over big triangle is the proper setup. Multiply those out and it'll get you going. If you have any questions, make sure you show up to tutorials. Good luck on your test.